What is going on, everybody? It is Friday morning, so it is time for Chess and a Story. This is a daily game, so there's no live footage, but it's a great one, so we're just going to go over the analysis. I did have one inaccuracy, but there's two brilliant moves, so I'm choosing this game because it's a phenomenal one, and it is the Mangarini. And before we get to the story, I just want to point out a brilliant move that happens right in the beginning. Right here, when the queen backs out, I thought for good and long. And I figured I can target that pawn, and if he backs it up with the b pawn, I'm golden, and I win a minor piece. So I go for it. And he does back it up with the b pawn, and the brilliant move is right here. Snag. And when he captures it, queen to f3 will win the rook unless he throws out the bishop or knight to get in the way, and then he loses a minor regardless. So earlier in the week of the story, me and my buddy at his house that the party happened at, we were playing one-on-one basketball. A loose ball went across the yard. I got it just in time before it went out. I turned around real quick, and I got elbowed right in the nose. So hard, my nose was crooked. So I went in the bathroom, I took my thumb, and I pushed it straight back into place, and it sounded like when you break a stick that doesn't totally snap off, and the splinters are like in a lattice. And as I pushed my nose, it sounded just like that, with all the little pieces of shards of wood kind of rubbing against each other back into place. But I don't have a crooked nose now, so it worked, right? So in 2003, my buddy John graduated, and he had the party at his dad's house. Beautiful property, fenced-in backyard, in-ground pool, arborvitaes all around the back by the fence. Perfect, right? The party was going excellently. There was probably just shy of 100 people there. There was family there too and everything. And about halfway through the party, at like 9 or 10 at night, a bunch of kids from a different school in our town had come, and we denied them entry. We're like, nah, dude, this is, there's already enough people here. It's just for Olympia. Well, they got pissed off, and they ended up coming back with a whole crew of people trying to start drama. We're talking like 20 heads, and they came in, ready to throw down. Well, when they came back, instantly, when we told them that they couldn't come in again, they started, throwing elbows. They started, punching people and knocking them out instantly, whoever was in the front yard. And I remember it was the most heroic thing I've ever seen. My buddy Steve literally goes out and saves a dude that got totally stomped on and was getting the shit beat out of him. And he runs out there like a fucking bull, grabs the dude, throws him over his fucking shoulder, and saves the kid and brings him back. It was absolutely fucking heroic, right? The kid that was getting stomped had a heart problem, so it had to go down. Well, at one point, the kids were all gathered up trying to get access to the backyard, and there was a 6-foot wooden fence, and I just started grabbing beer bottles and just jumping and whipping them over the fucking fence like a fucking volleyball player, spiking them, you know what I'm saying? Hitting people left and right. Well, they ripped down one section of the fence, and they all bum rushed, and they literally started punching everybody. Like John's aunt got fucking knocked out, you know what I'm saying? It was horrible. Well, long story short, everything got fucking taken together. They got handled the way that they should have, and the party ended up fucking getting cut shy. No cops were called. But I'm going to end up messaging Steve and John and see if they can throw a comment in here to put their 2 cents on what happened that night. I know it's a relatively short story, but we don't really talk about that night ever since it happened. I remember after I was whipping beer bottles over the fence, I go in the garage to try to go out in the front yard, and John's uncle, just big biker dude, he goes, no, and he puts his hand out and basically denied me entry from going out. But seriously, that when Steve went out, just throwing punches and grabbed Phil, it was like a scene out of the movies. Literally the most heroic thing I've ever seen. I got much respect for that gentleman since that day. Anyways, me and him are still pretty good friends to the day. It's a tragedy that had to happen, but like we said, everyone that ended up getting in the backyard, they got handled the way that they should. John's family is, full of bikers and, dudes that you don't want to mess with. But I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed the story and the chess game in the background. And I will see you guys, obviously, before next Friday. But I appreciate you guys viewing my videos, and I will see you guys on the next.